Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I told you a little bit about myself. Today I'm going to be telling you about my favorite book, which I mentioned in my video yesterday. The Rowan by McCaffrey. So, I started reading this book when I was 9. I was probably 9. And like I showed you yesterday, I read the cover right off, so, I mean, I've purchased others since then. I mean, this one's a little falling apart too, but, and I read it every year. And then of course I have my fancy hardbound. I don't ever read this. It just sits on my shelf and looks pretty, because I have hardbounds all of my paperback books that are my favorite so that they look nice. This is my most gifted book. Whenever I don't know what to get someone, I usually give them my favorite book. So The Rowan by McCaffrey. It starts off when she's 3 and she's in a hopper, which is a car-ish thing, probably like a floating car. And oh, did I mention this is a future book? If you couldn't tell by the cover, this takes place in the future, and it is on another planet actually called Altair, which does exist. In this series, this is actually the 4th book in an actual like long series. The Pegasus series comes first, and this is in the same universe. You don't have to read the first 3 books. Pegasus, To Ride Pegasus, Pegasus in Flight, and Pegasus in Space are the first 3. That's the Pegasus series, if you didn't understand that. And then there's the Tower in the Hive series, which this is the first book in that series, but it's connected to the previous. And there's a little preface that tells you about that a little bit, but it's really good to read those at some point. They're good books too. So she's on Altair. She's 3 years old. Her family is in a mining community in the mountains, and it's been raining for days, and there's a mudslide, and she's in her car, and she's sleeping, and so this mudslide flash flood thing happens. She gets knocked out and, moved. Everyone in her village dies, and when she wakes up, the entire planet hears her scream. Because in this universe, telepaths and telekinetics, or TNTs, or talents, kind of rule. It became a thing in if you read the first 3, you know that Henry Darrow, who's a psychic, discovered that his psychic energy was actually brainwave activity, and he learned how to measure it. And then Peter Redinger, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I was 8 or 9 when I started reading it, so that's his name my whole life. Because when you learn a word through reading, you almost never pronounce it correctly. So he was a quadriplegic who learned how to tap into a generator in order to help himself move and talk with minds and stuff like that. So they perfected it. It's called Gestalt, which is actually a real term. And so when the Rowan comes along, they've been doing this for a while, like a long time, a couple 100 years. So she's on Altair, and the primes have the most powerful minds to move things with their minds and to speak with one another, and they kind of run the planet. So they're almost like a UPS system. They send supplies, and they speak to one another, and they keep everyone in contact. And the Rowan is the most powerful that they've ever seen. And so yeah, so you just get to follow her through her growing up years, through love and loss and kind of growing up and coming into her own. And it's really a cool series. There's alien invasions and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's my favorite book. You should check it out. I will leave a link in the description if you want to look for it on Amazon. And yes, if I hit 100 subscribers, I will pick one at random to send this book to. 100 subscribers. That's not very much, but that's what I'll do. Fingers crossed. I have more friends than that on Facebook, so here's hoping. But yeah, so check out the Rowan, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.